Are you ready to put the concrete to the stake?
Not home. We can. Okay, I just said you didn't listen. You didn't listen. I just said it has a possibility that we can open the borders for just a small test, 100,000 people. Yeah.
Where is this meeting taking place?
In Trojan.
In the winter castle of the queen.
We're in the mountain.
Obviously, you approved our Prime Minister to come and look in your country because this morning the Prime Minister.
No, we're making a debate. We're making a debate. Have
So
a
it's in
tea
Bulgaria.
or coffee or bakia and salad.
Yeah, and probably the England's Prime Minister is here to be in Bulgaria and
So-
working and not kick off. Because
Yes.
they want to kick off Bulgaria.
Yes, correct. But
So if it's good for you, why not?
for example, her question, she had a lot of scare in her eyes asking that, shall I let that happen to test that thing? I'm really scared of let my country go down. But is it really correct? How we know? We didn't test it yet. Maybe he will help me. Any more questions, please?
Yes.
Well, both ministers, I mean, you keep talking about your country. First, why is it your country? I think the way you set up the problem, you will never find a good solution. The good solution is not whether it's good for your country. By the way, I'm not sure you have always, maybe your grandfather was not Bulgarian, maybe your grandfather was not English. My question is, what if Mr. Spasov wants to have a contract with Mr. Smith? In the name of what will you stop Mr. Spasov and Mr. Smith, one living in Sofia and the other one in London, to have a contract in the name of your country? And if you do so, with such a vague idea, then why don't you stop Mr. Smith to have a contract with Mr. Dupont or with Mr. Can you be so sure that it's going to be good or bad for your country? And don't you think that anyway, your science is not good enough to stop two private people to do what they want?
Very good question. I shall ask my right hand.
In other terms, what is the difference between moving and emigrating? What is the difference between moving and emigrating?
Yes, exactly. That's a good question also. The person that will go in England to work, for example, he can just go and use the benefits for him to work hardly to get experience. He also can take out those money to go in Bulgaria back to bring more experience here, to convince more people going in England. And we don't know actually those more people what will do actually. But in the same time, that same person will give more money to our government. And have goods and bad things. It's very difficult.
By the way, why don't you prohibit tourism, Mr. Ministers? Because you've got those Bulgarians going to London, spending the money in London, while they could use it in Bulgaria and help the Bulgarian economy. Same thing for the British citizen. You should forbid them from traveling abroad, because then they go and spend the money abroad, they create jobs abroad, and they destroy jobs in England by spending their vacation on the Riviera instead of staying in London.
I don't think that's such a bad question, because, as I said, that's traveling, free traveling. We have open borders, but let's say, you cannot say, what if, I'm going to counter your question, what if the ignorant person will go in different country, how are you going to stop them? I'm going to ask you.
Well, it works. I don't know. Maybe you don't travel much, but when you travel, you arrive at the border. They ask you, "Are you here as a tourist or to work?" And
Well,
you
we've got
stop.
last question, so and we'll finish the discussion.
Actually, it's not a question, more like a comment.
Okay.
I like the debate and the cross-examination and all the points that you made, but I have one serious dilemma about your presentation, and it is why you have isolated benefits and this for England and for Bulgaria. Isn't this a common question? And you're supposed to have mutual benefits and mutual fees, because we are speaking in the spirit of liberty, and liberty means achieving something together. So, as a comment to your presentation, although it was wonderful, I think that in future you may think overgating, not derogating your
Okay.
opinion.
Well, yeah, we
It's not a
started,
question, just a
it is,
point of
we started that way.
This, we
Uh,
have,
I'd like to respond to this. Because we have separated them because after these are two separate entities, and every one of them have its specifics. So some of the benefits are mutual for the both, like know-how, cultural exchange, and so on. But others are specific. One will benefit in one thing, the other will benefit in other thing. So we cannot put them
No,
together.
but I think in the way like people from this plan over here, the benefits for England are actually benefits for the people living in England.
Yes.
And benefits for Bulgaria.
The benefits for Bulgaria.
For Bulgaria. And actually for migration, the country didn't get any specific benefits, but the people from both countries are actually living better. That's the spirit of freedom.
yes, but we had the question, it will be better or will be disaster? How we can answer? Unless we vote, shall we, our two parliaments vote? Shall we?
Okay, well, we'll keep that comment for the next time. And if we have more questions.
I have a last question.
No, do we have more time for questions?
You have like 2-3 minutes.
No, but he was the first one and then it's your turn.
What if the two prime ministers were liberals?
No, then we will open the borders.
Yeah, would be a nice conversation.
But do you think that's the right decision?
Yes.
Okay, but what about the other people?
Well, maybe we can try to vote.
Vote, let's vote.
Let's try to
Together.
vote.
Actually, I mean,
I never
as
voted.
far as facts are concerned, I think that the UK have been opening much faster than most of the EU countries.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, they have already benefited from that very much, as far as I know, but this has to be checked. But I think I've read that somewhere. Mr.
Now I have only a question for the two prime ministers. They are two prime ministers in Europe. I imagine you know what is in Europe, the country with the highest rate of immigrants, of foreign people, because you are ready to it's Switzerland in comparison with people obviously
Okay.
so it seems that the consequences are not so bad. You know,
Yeah.
they are not all this kind of risk. No, it depends also by the dimension of the state.
Who's the
So
second?
for the UK minister, my advice is to reduce the price of the state, to reduce welfare. And another, my opinion, important benefit for Bulgaria when people leave a country is a signal. There is something doesn't work in the country for many reasons, but perhaps the Prime Minister of Bulgaria will be forced to reduce taxation, to reduce intervention, to attract.
Yeah, we'll make a
people.
competition between the.
Exactly.
We had together one idea to open, in Bulgaria to open like, let's say, companies that can check if those people from here will bring crime in my country.
The consequences. Okay, so do you have more questions? Hope not.